What if I told you the loneliest character in Adventure Time would save a hero's life, fulfill an ancient prophecy, and find true love, all because someone destroyed his only hope of escape? That character is Banana Man, and this is his tragic but also beautiful story. And it starts with Jake having a nightmare about dying in space. Let's rewind to Season 3, Episode 18, The New Frontier. Jake has a croak dream, a vision of how he's going to die. So picture this. He's floating in space with a rocket ship and a banana-shaped figure inside of it. Now, Jake wakes up fully convinced that this is how he dies, because you can't breathe in space. And it terrifies him so much that he starts preparing Finn for a life without him. But then, someone knocks on their door. A friendly banana-shaped figure with a glass bowl on his head, and all he wants is to borrow some sugar. Finn sees this mysterious visitor as a threat, and it never answers the door, so Banana Man walks back to his dome home. Finn and Jake spy on him through his window, and what's he doing? Dancing to an exercise tape in his futuristic home. Finn's convinced this banana is connected to Jake's death prophecy, so he tries to shoot him with a flaming arrow, twice. The arrow flies over Banana Man's house, and they discover a half-built spaceship in his backyard. Jake recognizes it immediately. This is the ship from his croak dream. The explosion blows a massive hole in the ground, and all three fall into the crater, landing in an underground pool of water. Jake is now underwater, unable to breathe, very similar to his croak dream. But Jake doesn't die. He's perfectly fine. Technically, the prophecy came true. The spaceship, the being unable to breathe, Banana Man, but Jake survived. But as they're floating there in the wreckage, Jake says something cryptic.
In the croak dream, it was just me and Banana Man. But this time, you were here too. So, it must be destined to happen again.
And spoiler alert, Jake has no idea how right he is. But the real tragedy isn't the prophecy. It's what Finn and Jake just did to Banana Man. They destroyed his rocket ship, his dream of reaching space, and all he wanted was some sugar. And the reason why he wanted to go to space? That's where this story gets heartbreaking. Fast forward to Season 5, Episode 39, We Fix the Truck. Banana Man shows up to help fix an old pre-war truck. And as they work together, Banana Man thanks Finn and Jake for letting him hang out with them. Think about that. This guy is so lonely that he's grateful just to spend time with them, even though Finn tried to murder him. But here's the moment that hits hard. Banana Man confides in Bimo.
I don't want to be alone, but yeah, I've gotten pretty good at it. But it would be nice to find someone.
Did you catch the sadness in that? He points out a banana guard he has a crush on, and Finn and Jake try to help. And wouldn't you know it, Banana Man finally gets his moment. A lizard replica threatens the Candy Kingdom, and Banana Man saves the day using his peel as a weapon. He's a hero. He finally found the courage to talk to his crush and saved the entire kingdom. But of course, things cannot go right for Banana Man. After heroically saving the kingdom, Banana Man is arrested by his crush for public indecency because he's not wearing his peel. This is who Banana Man is, a brilliant, lonely genius who just wants some connection. He's got technology that could change but without someone to share it with, he'd rather escape to space. But that destroyed rocket? Well, hold on to your hats, because that's about to become the most important thing in his entire life. Although Jake's croak dream technically came true, it actually didn't. It was just showing the wrong ending. And when that prophecy finally comes true in Season 6, Episode 43, The Comet, you're not going to be ready for this. Finn and Jake launch into space to stop Orgalord. Things go wrong. Jake is floating in space, running out of air. This might actually be how Jake dies. The croak dream is happening right now. Jake is suffocating. And then, out of the darkness, a ship appears. Banana Man. In a fully completed functional rocket ship. After they destroyed his first rocket, Banana Man rebuilt it, perfected it, and made it to space. And at the exact moment Jake needs him most, Banana Man is there. He saves Jake's life. Now, think about this for a second. Banana Man brings Jake aboard, rescues Finn and Orgalord, and pilots them safely back to Earth. They're alive because of a banana who just wanted to borrow some sugar. The prophecy wasn't about death at all. It was about rescue. Jake destroyed Banana Man's rocket out of fear, and that very destruction put Banana Man in the exact right place to save Jake's life years later. Pretty incredible, right? But here's what'll really blow your mind. Jake's story isn't the only prophecy that came true, because Banana Man had a prophecy of his own, and he didn't even know it. Season 7, Episode 18, President Porpoise is missing, and this is where Banana Man finally gets what he's been searching for all along. Remember his confession to Bimo back in the episode We Fixed a Truck, well, this is where it gets important. Banana Man has been hiding in Finn and Jake's tree fort from time to time. When President Porpoise goes missing, Banana Man offers his submarine to help. While Finn and Jake just goof around, Banana Man is actually searching the ocean depths, and then something magical happens. Banana Man encounters an undersea representative named Sybil, and it's instant, an instant connection. Banana Man has found his person. The episode ends perfectly. Banana Man and Sybil are watching the sunset together from the ocean's surface, completely lost in each other. Meanwhile, and this is probably the best part, Finn and Jake are in the submarine running out of air, sort of like Jake's original croak dream. But Banana Man finally did it. He found somebody. The lonely genius who just wanted to borrow some sugar found everything he was searching for. But wait, there's one more thing that brings it all together. Because decades later, we discover how his story ends, and it's exactly how you'd hope. In the series finale, Come Along With Me, Banana Man is helping Bimo send Moa's memories into space. It's kind of poetic, isn't it? The banana who always dreamed of these stars, now helping fulfill someone else's cosmic wish. And in Bimo's future home, 1,000 years later, when Bimo is king of Ooh, there's a portrait on the wall, a portrait of an older Banana Man. This single image tells us everything. Banana Man lived a long, full life. He found love with Sybil, he found a friendship with Finn and Jake, he found purpose in helping others, and most importantly, he never stopped being kind, even when the universe tried to break him. The prophecy wasn't about death. It was about a lonely banana who would save a dog's life in space, and in return, finally find someone to share his life with. Not bad for a guy who just wanted to borrow some sugar.
I just wanted to borrow some sugar.